Sometimes I think this chapter is just nothing but a big taunt by Isayama. It was said that Isayama has planned the characters' path to split apart from each other. That time has come. It may not be surprising, knowing how far Eren has gone in his dark ambition, but it is tragic to see best friends losing their grasp of friendship. It is not the war outside that will break them apart, it's the desire within the group. This chapter is a welcoming change of pace that explains the story that led to the current timeline, but it is not without a cause more than lives. Majority of the chapter takes place 3 years ago, so it can explain how the master plan from Eren and Zeke came to play. Marlin soldiers were sent to Paradise Island to gather the data and report it back home. Had this gone through, the current timeline would have been significantly different. Eren stopped them from sailing like a kaiju movie scene. I noticed Yelena was with them, so I knew they won't crush the ship right away. One of the gems about the flashback is the fact that we get to see these characters portraying their humorous self. I don't know if the time skip leaves no room for one, considering how dark it has become. But this is a nice breakaway. Haji is comical with her introduction to Taurus and threatened them to surrender or they will kill Niccolo. She really tried to be threatening, but the captain wasn't having it. I like the banter between them, including Levi, who didn't want to be part of this. Luckily for her, he was killed by Yelena. Funny that Haji really ducked and covered. Essentially, this becomes an introduction to Yelena's character. She's actually quite relaxed when dealing with the problem. She wanted to chat and get acquainted while drinking tea. That is one calm and collected soldier. I thought she was going to be a hard ass, but this is a good take. She's also very observant and informative. She noticed already that Titans on the island are wiped out. If only the series ends there on a happy note. The humor side continues with Haji being visibly and overly impressed with the technology of Marley, especially flying vehicles. I got a good laugh with how Levi communicates with her through instinct, trying to maintain order. She said to not to worry with her reaction. Yet only few panels later, she exploded with sheer joy. I missed this side of the series. It's not just dumb, even the other Survey Corps have charming moments, like Sasha was falling asleep and Mikasa had to babysit her more or less. Yeah, it's interesting to see the moment when Yelena changed her vision. She wasn't a spy, rather legitimately part of Marley's army. It's the fact she was forced to fight for them after they conquer her country. At least we are back painting Marley as total heel. The moment she saw Abe Titan, she saw a new hope. That would explain her allegiance to Zeke and how she and Survey Corps officially form a pact. The main goal is to free the Eldian people. All this time, Zeke has been planning this. That does come with a price of political debate. The whole debate is pretty interesting. It does establish how Zeke and Paradise Island came to an agreement, albeit through controversial demands and timing. It's also controversial with Eren finally spilled out the revelation he has been hiding. More than later, it was bold of Zeke to demand the higher-ups like they just met. Despite how much damage he has caused, he offered a secret plan that would solve the Eldians' problem with ease. The requirements happen to be Original Titan and Royal Blood. You know where this is going. It means the power to control Titans. That's when Eren stepped in and persuaded them to take Zeke's offer. It is clear why he reacted right away, knowing how the power worked. It's just that he kept it secret for so long that maybe it would have been helpful earlier. While he admitted that he was protecting Historia, hence the secrecy, part of me felt that he only exposed it just because he saw the path to win the war. In a way, he abandoned his friend for his ambition. Now that is out, well, he better hope those government hasn't done any shady tactic. It does seem like that moment is where the trust and companionship with Eren begins to fall. Although Haji agreed with him, Levi was annoyed at his timing and knowing the current event, he is definitely no friend of his. The government really wanted to hang Zeke and others so badly, but Haji saw a logic behind it. I mean, I understand where they're coming from since they dealt with nothing but hell. It's just concerning on what will happen once the pack is over. I have to say, the next phase is surprisingly charming and heartwarming. With the series always in action and killing, it's very refreshing when the characters are handling the problem without resorting to violence. The closest you get is ambush, forcing them to surrender, and that's it. For once, it shows a different side of his nature. What if they handle the problem without extermination? What if they befriend someone outside of Paradise Island? What if there is another way to handle the war? It's quite astounding how the Survey Corps reacted heavily with something that is simple in today's world, yet fascinating like it's the future. For example, when they planned to build a harbor, majority of the guys didn't know its purpose, even saying it's a kid's playground. Haji understood its use, but she reacted like she is witnessing a glimpse of the future. The vibe isn't written like they came from the future or their country is incredibly technical advanced, excluding and compared with this island. Survey Corps were behind time in more ways than one. What's comical yet important is when Sasha asks Oyankabone about his skin color. Sure, it's comical to those who read it in her tone and how it seems so strange to ask that question in the first place. However, it's meaningful because of where they came from, isolated from everyone. He answered in an interesting way that also introduced the concept of a religion such as God, in which exploited the concept of multiple beliefs. I adored the shift in tone with everyone enjoying their time and bonding with other people outside, as well as introduced to the current technology. The food that they didn't think it was possible amazed them. Well, most definitely to Sasha. The hostages they took in became friendly and introduced a simple use of model to demonstrate, yet Survey Corps were easily amazed. It's heartwarming, which is something I don't often say in this series. In a way, it's rewarding because after going through hell and reaching to the beach, life was going to the peaceful direction. Even Army and Mikasa felt happy about the ways things were going. Sadly, the divided path was shown. It's a damn shame that Eren was probably the only guy there that didn't get with the time, or rather didn't see another approach. While Army would love to fight the war but settle in a peaceful manner, he wanted to prove that they are innocent and correct their misunderstanding. Eren, however, was more about fighting the war and conquer them, since they are already painted as the enemy of the world. Despite they have friends from outside, it's not enough to prove that everyone will follow the same. Mikasa was stuck in the middle, yet trying to reason Eren that Army's path is possible. You can't say she was open for a peaceful path, which is something you wouldn't expect often from her. The conversation stopped with the establishment of time is an essence. There is no real answer on which path is best. One thing is certain though, is that Eren's path was chosen by force, and so far, it has its reward, but the price of developments are pretty grim. The best part of the chapter is how it was narrated throughout the flashback. It's addressed by Armin because not only he's conflicted with his friendship with Eren, but in need of finding some hope. It's telling how he once had fun playing the role of a threat, but resolved in a merciful manner. When it comes to destruction and violence, it is sorrow and painful. He explained the story for fans to understand the one chance for a peaceful resolution and where their chosen path led them to. The transition from Eren's rifle to Sasha's untimely death is simple yet very effective. Indirectly, he has killed her. It's rather cold of Izuyama that we had a flashback with everyone still together and having a normal fun time. Now it would appear to be their very last. Seeing Sasha enjoying and interacting with others was physically painful. It was sad enough that she did die. I didn't want a taunting display. Could this have remained the same way if they did have more time? It's hard to say, but what's done is done. Speaking of taunting, another one comes to mind is who Armin is talking to. Surprise! It's Ani. Still in the crystal though. On the plus side, this would indicate that her time may be on the horizon. There is no way Isayama introduce her and do nothing later. I can't be wrong, but for once, I hope not. It could indicate that maybe Army has gained some memories from Berto or even feelings. It's possible that he has no one to talk to, though why her? They did bond a while back, so it's not so far-fetched. I'm enjoying the dynamic between Levi and Zeke. It's really awkward how the man who Levi wants to kill so badly is chatting like they are good comrades. Levi has other plans that revolves with killing, like sending Zeke's body back to Marley. Now that is a hell of a taunt. Zeke is just delighted to have a chance to meet his little half-brother. I don't know how long these two will go on before one loses their head, but I'm intrigued to see what's next. Citizens are celebrating the victory, in which is definitely a contrast to the earlier days. In the midst of it, Gabi and Falco are held in jail. I wonder what Isayama has in mind for them. But I'll bet fans will love to see her rot. Nothing beats depressing feeling than a funeral, let alone its aftermath. It's depressing yet striking when Mikasa at the cemetery recites the speech about fight to win, while Eren says the same, but with fiery determination. It's a clear contrast in his use. She says it to justify her action and keep her mind in safe. He says it to inspire himself to push harder, hell-bent to reach his goal. This was a very striking chapter that left me feeling uncomfortable on where they are heading. The narrative and the flashback were heartwarming and tragic. It added a lot more to the current timeline with its fallout. The presentation was pleasant and charming in the flashback, but dreary and troubling in the present. The friendship is falling apart, and the possibility of a sad ending is increasing. Their paths have been separated. The destination isn't looking bright. And that will do it for the review. I hope you enjoyed this one. At least we got to see Ani. It's only a matter of time that she would get out of the crystal. I just don't know how, especially if they don't have the Jaw Titan. Maybe Eren will find a different way, or maybe they will use some different tactics. Time will tell. What do you think is going to happen to with Falco and Gabi? I know people want Gabi to rot in hell, but you gotta give it time. Or maybe it won't happen at all. That will piss off majority of the fans. Do you think the next chapter will have Zeke and Eren having a conversation? What do you think of the chapter as a whole? Share your thoughts in the comment section. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe to my channel and my world will be yours to stay. Until next time. Take care.